What is your full name and job title?
My name is Daryl Dwayne Burns. My job title is assistant principal. Also like APIC of this building.
Okay. What school or organization do you represent?
I represent Metropolitan Satellite High School from Milwaukee Public Schools.
For how long and how did you get started?
I've been an official assistant principal for 2 years. I got started as a Compton Fellow about 8 or 9 years ago at Malcolm X Middle School. After the Compton Fellowship, I was a certified teacher at MPS for the 7 years after that. Then I underfilled at several schools for 2 years, and then I was appointed at Riverside University High School for a year, and that's where I am now here at Metropolitan.
Could you please define discipline?
I define discipline as respect to yourself and to others, following rules and regulations, being somewhat self-guided and motivated to do the right thing.
What kind of discipline problems do you experience in your profession?
In my profession, since I deal with adolescents and teenagers, you get the whole gamut of discipline problems, from students just not following directions to students not doing their work on an academic standpoint to students doing heinous or illegal crimes such as assault and battery to drug use, or drug sale, or just holding drug paraphernalia. So I get the whole gamut because I do work with students from the ages of 14 all the way to 21. So you get a lot of breaches of discipline.
Okay. What do you do to decipher these tribulations?
Well, there are several things that you try to do. You try to be proactive and somewhat reactive, but we try to be proactive to kind of stop the incidents before they happen. It's hard because you got to really define on what you're trying to actually attribute to the disciplinary actions that students are doing. So I mean, you can try many things to kind of stop the actions, but I guess you got to gauge from whether it's an academic that you're trying to stop the disciplinary stuff, or is it just some kind of horseplay or heinous crime. So I mean, there's several things that you can try to do. I think one thing that you try to do is kind of give the kids ownership of the school that they're in by giving them some type of culture, giving them some type of belief that this is the way for them to make it in society and to improve themselves as a person. So that's the first thing that I think would also help out with the disciplinary issues, because once you have the students believe in themselves and believe in the system and believe in the culture of the school, a lot of the other disciplinary actions don't tend to happen as much.
Okay. What kind of retort to these tribulations do you get?
Well, sometimes you get a lot of backlash because kids are coming from environments in which they are not used to a lot of structure. I have a lot of kids who are from either single parent homes or living in homes in which they're raised by an older grandparent. I have a lot of foster students who are foster kids. I have a lot of kids who are at different type of youth homes and so forth. So a lot of times with a lot of the structure that we try to give to them, there's some backlash as far as kids not coming to school, which is attendance issues, which also affects their academics, whether it's kids just trying to stake claim to territory or heighten their popularity around the school, so they fight or argue, or they don't want to be seen like the kid who's not smart or not school. Those are some of the backlashes. And it might be something heinous, as which kids bring weapons and other things to school to fight and to hurt other students. So those are some of the backlashes that we get from, trying to establish a culture or establish discipline in the school.
Okay, about how many write-ups, suspensions, detentions do you have at your school?
Well, it all depends. we tend to have more write-ups later in the day. We tend to have more write-ups later in the week. During Friday, when kids start to get a little looser, we tend to have more write-ups closer to breaks and so forth. But as far as numbers go, I couldn't actually tell you how many I have, but we have quite a few because we are a school that is a satellite school. So we take in a lot of the students in which other schools have either expelled, kicked out, or won't have. We basically take everybody. We also have a high special ed population, so that attributes to a lot of our write-ups and so forth. But we get a lot, but every incident referral or write-up does not lead to suspension. A lot of times I get incident referrals and it leads to a mediation and consultation of the student. So if I get a write-up from the student in which you're using profanity, which is normally a suspension in most schools, sometimes I'll talk to the kids about, proper use of language and so forth. And sometimes they'll get suspended. So we get quite a few, but a lot of times those incident referrals lead to the kids being able to talk about the issues that they're having in the classroom, at home, or with the school in general. So we do, to answer the question, we do get quite a few. And if I was an average, I would maybe say I might get about 5 or 6 a day on some days, or it could be 20 or 30 on one day. So, it fluctuates.
Okay, any suggestions to help reduce these disciplinary problems?
Well, I think a lot of times people try to attribute disciplinary issues or some of the heinous things that happen in schools to the schools, but it's a collective whole. The community, the parents, the school board, and so forth, and some type of outer respect for self that you gotta have. I mean, if you don't have any type of respect for self, you can't respect any of the latter in which I said. So I think that as far as an administrator, one of the things I can do is try to keep the school community or the feeling of the school at a point in which we are showing mutual respect towards one another. I think respect is the biggest thing at a school like this. We can all live collectively together, even if we don't like one another. We have certain students here who are gang members and so forth, but we can live respectfully in this environment as long as we respect each other. So I think that's the biggest thing. I think environment, community, culture of the school can help deter a lot of the discipline issues that you have.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Not a problem.